New moon cycle is here. That's what cycles do. They just keep cycling. We're in a campground again, and this one is chaotic. People just watching me film. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm gonna pull some cards to see what we can expect. I'm gonna give you some dates for the moon cycle and what's coming up in the sky and in the energy. And I have a paper with my dates. Let's see. Oh, it got wet. Typical. The next new moon is on July 17th, 2023 at 14:31 Eastern. So that's 2:31 p.m. Eastern time. It will be in the astrological sign of Cancer. Just wait for that card to pass by. Oh, there's another one. Just gonna have to forget that. I told you it's chaotic here. My Cancer rising does not appreciate the chaos going on, but my Aries moon is laughing its little butt off. So the new moon will be in Cancer on July 17th. The full moon will be August 1st, also at 14:31 Eastern, which I thought was really interesting. So if you're into numerology, you may want to look up those numbers and the combo of those numbers and what they may mean. Because the seconds are different, but the time of 14:31 is the same. Eastern time, so 2:31 p.m. Eastern time, and that full moon is in Aquarius. I love an Aquarius full moon. My sun is in Aquarius, so it's just a nice night for me. This new moon cycle will conclude with the next new moon. That's how it goes, new to new. New moon that will conclude this cycle is on August 16th at 5:38 a.m. Eastern time. We're going July 17th through August 16th. Leo season starts July 23rd. So July 23rd we go into Leo season. Astrologically, the sun moves into Leo for about a month. So July 23rd through August 22nd will be Leo season. Leo energy, fire energy, that's coming up. We're gonna start with the Urban Crow Oracle. All my decks will be linked in the description below if you want to pick some up for yourself. What will be the general vibe of this next moon cycle? This will be a time of what? What do we need to know for this moon cycle? Okay, we got two. This was a big group that came out, but we've got two for that. Resistance came out first. Okay. Oh, and then we have perspective, so that kind of makes sense. A little bit there. Let's see. I always think this card is upside down, but it's never upside down. I'm feeling resistance right now. It's because there's all kinds of people walking around and looking at me. Do a card reading on video, but that's okay. State of mind. This is going to be about a state of mind, which makes a lot of sense for, my daughter just rode her bike by, for Leo season, because like Leo season, Leo can be very facts are feelings kind of thing. And I know a lot of Leos, and I know how easy it is for them to just kind of get stuck in a certain frame of mind about something. And so I think that is an important thing to keep in mind, is the frame of mind that we're going to be in. This is going to be a time of reframing. Okay, a time of gaining the perspective that is not the perspective that it feels like. Does that make sense? So like I said, facts are feelings, they're not. It's important to understand what's really going on. It's important to understand what's up, not just what we feel and what we think is going on, but like what is the actual. Okay, so that is something to keep in mind with this moon cycle. I'm going to pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle just for any kind of general advice. What advice do we need for keeping a good perspective in this moon cycle and the things we want to work on? What are some good things to work on? Let's see. Oh, 3 cards. Let's see what's going on there. We have deep knowing. Round and round, moon cycle, makes sense, right? Like, yeah. And not for you. Man, this card really likes to rear its little head. It's not an ugly head, it's just a little head. Deep knowing. There is like 2 moons going on in this card. Do you see that? like up above and then down below. With the owl, so definitely a lot of wisdom, deep knowing, knowledge, seeking truth. Whoa, that came right out my mouth. Seeking truth. It's going to be a time of seeking truth. So if you're going to be doing magical workings, this is a great moon cycle to be spells for honesty, maybe shadow work on some self-awareness and the deep truths within you. Leo season coming up. Leo's a fire sign. Fire illuminates. Okay, it is lighting things up, and I think that it's going to light up some knowledge for us and truth, but in like an honest things. Like things are gonna like truthful things will be revealed. The truth will be revealed. There we go. We got it out. Yeah, and it's in a reoccurring way. So this is something that if you've been needing to work on it, or if it's something you need to revisit often, anything like that, that would be a really good thing to be working on this moon cycle. You know, if there's shadow work that just kind of keeps popping back up that you need to redo, or healing that just tends to kind of a wound that reopens, that kind of stuff. So maintenance, I'm getting the word maintenance. So it's like your spiritual maintenance. Okay. That's, yep, maintenance for sure. So revisit some things that were particularly difficult or that tend to just keep cycling around for you, your own cycle, and pay attention to that this moon cycle. And also, as with any full moon, that's a great time to release. So when that full moon comes up on August 1st, this is a great moon for letting things go, especially with it being in Aquarius, because Aquarius cannot be bothered with the things that do not interest them, and the things that do not serve you and that are not good for you shouldn't interest you. So shouldn't is not a word I like to use, but that's just kind of how it fell out of my mouth. So not for you here is saying that like you need to evaluate what you need and what you really don't, because there are things that you're kind of just hanging on to that are just don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. All right. Let's pull from Voice of the Souls. We're using like all my decks today because hey, come on, man. Oh, it's a little resistant. Maybe it's not in the mood today. Yeah, just like I said, I've been using so much tarot lately. I've been doing a lot of personal readings. You can book in the description below, but a lot of private readings, and I just use tarot for that, just for a lot of reasons. But what do we need to let go of? That's a great segue. What do we need to let go of on the full moon coming up? This moon cycle's full moon. What do we need to release? What do we need to not hang on to anymore? What do we need to let go of? I told you this deck was resistant. Speaking of resistance, right? What do we need to let go of? What is something generally let go of? Burden of tears. Yeah, so yeah, that shame. Just let the shame go. Okay, the things that you are shaming yourself for, or the things that you are feeling shamed by others for, that isn't right. There are things to be ashamed of. Okay, there are actions we take that we should be ashamed of. No one's perfect. We've all done things we shouldn't, and those are things to feel shame for, and then figure it out, ask forgiveness, right the wrong, and move on. But this isn't that. This is the thing that you're shaming yourself for that you really shouldn't be, especially in terms of how you're feeling, and when you're feeling ways you think you shouldn't be feeling. Just a second ago I said I didn't like the word should or shouldn't, like they're yucky words, toxic. So, you know, the things that like you feel like I shouldn't feel this way, toxic. You feel how you feel. Okay, those kinds of feelings are what you need to focus on letting go with this upcoming full moon, which is great. That, I mean, we all have shame that we hold on to for no good reason. I think we think it justifies things or makes us feel like a better person. It's like, I know I shouldn't feel this way, so it's okay that I feel this way. But it's like, you don't really need that justification for how you feel. Dig into the reasons and why you feel that way, and let go of the shame, because why you feel how you feel is valid. It's not something that you need to feel shame for. So please let that go this full moon, especially when you're manifesting things, the things that you're kind of bringing about or working on over this moon cycle. When it comes time for the full moon, that's a great time to release. So look for the things that are affecting the thing that you want and release that. Does that make sense? Did I say that right? I got distracted because it's very distracting and I'm trying to follow my own thing. So when we're working on it and when we're manifesting it, we get to a point 2 weeks into the moon cycle when we think, what is stopping me? What is limiting me? And one of the things is going to be the shame that you're putting on yourself, the self-critical eye, which is interesting because that's a theme that came up in my full moon reading. I do send out a full moon reading. I do that on my email list though, so it's totally free. You can sign up in the description below. But that was a theme that came up with this last full moon we had was, you need to let go of that self-criticism that's not helpful and isn't justified. We're still on that train. We're always on that train, to be fair. But whatever it is that you're working towards this moon cycle, working with this moon cycle, the goals you have for this moon cycle, see how shame and self-criticism is limiting you and release that on the full moon. Work on releasing that. That's going to really, really help you manifest better and just energetically, it's going to help everything. Let's pull one more. Like I said, we're using all the decks today. This is the Woodland Wardens. We just need a little guidance. I just want a little animal guidance. Who do we need to follow? Who is here to guide us this moon cycle? Who should we focus on? Where should our focus be? We're focusing on perspective and letting things go. Oh, the dragonfly. Oh, everything is temporary. Okay, everything is temporary. Balance. Sorry, my foot's asleep. Okay, balance. Okay, I know that so this says balance, but I know that I tie animal energies into biology. Not biology, that makes me sound way smarter than I am. In terms of like just biologically how they exist in nature and the symbolism behind that and what that can teach us. And I know the dragonfly has a very short lifespan, which is kind of sad because they're beautiful and really fun. Although one time I saw a dragonfly eat a moth alive, and it was, nature is merciless. Okay, we know that. All right. Dragonfly and the pansy. Yeah, see, this is, so everything is temporary because I very recently tried to grow pansies and they died horrifically. So that sucked. Everything is temporary. I think that that's what you need to remember at this time. Hold on, there are children and I'm going to wait for them. Patience is a virtue. Everything is temporary. See, they rode away on their bikes. Everything is temporary. When you understand that everything is temporary, that will help you find the perspective that we're after. Okay, so everything is temporary. Everything except tattoos, and those you can even get removed, and they go bye-bye when we do. So I guess even that's not permanent. I think that that's really the key takeaway though, is that everything is temporary. So understand what you have and appreciate it, because everything is temporary, and understand that when you're going through something a little rough, that everything is temporary. Okay, and so it works both ways. It can kind of make you a little sad, because it makes me sad to think about some things that are temporary. I hate that. But perspective, okay? Everything is temporary. So when we are, see, I love how this just comes around full circle. So like, it's going to be really helpful for us to work on having the right frame of mind. This moon cycle, this is a time to really reach within ourselves and learn the hard truths, and work on our own cyclical things that we deal with, and to know what to let go of, which is shame, right? So like, we know that's part of the deep truths we need to dig into, is we need to let go of the self-critical eye. We need to let go of the shame that we put on ourselves, because everything is temporary. So even the feelings we have that we feel shameful about, those are temporary. Those are temporary feelings. And the hard things are temporary. And that just is going to bring us to the eye-opening time that it is right now of learning deep truths. And I feel like we even had that in my July prediction video. There was it, sorry, wind is kicking up and it's been breezy all day. So I'm sorry if that sound is picking up. But I remember my July video had something similar with self-awareness, especially, and harsh truths. That there was going to be a time towards the end of July with some harsh truths, or just in July in general, but I feel like it was coming at the end of July, but it's collective, so it could happen at any time for you. But there's going to be some harsh truths during the month of July, and just remember that everything is temporary, okay? And that the frame of mind and the opinion that you're holding on to about these harsh truths, it's time to shift your perspective on that, okay? We're gonna learn the things, and they keep coming around very often, okay? But we definitely need to know that not everything is for us. So we need to let go of that critical shame that we put on ourselves, because everything is temporary and there's beauty to be found in all of that, to give us perspective. So it all comes around full circle. If you made it this far into the moon cycle reading, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. Again, if you want to book a reading with me, the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for being here, and until we meet again, please remember that we're all going to be okay.